Good day and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Trendz Travel. I'm your host for today, Uslondiwe Wagamtalane. We are bringing you this episode from the Mountain Zebra National Park in beautiful Eastern Cape. We start off the show with a trip to Cape Town. Do enjoy.
Coming up next on Trendz Travel this week, we explore Kimberley. We visit beautiful Dinokeng. South African women take to the streets in super bikes. And finally, it takes two to tango in Argentina. All this and more. Stay tuned.
Day 2 aboard the Rovers Royal, we are awoken by the sound of the train as it lulls its way into Kimberley and onto our first excursion. Our day starts with a hearty breakfast spread, and if you so wish, you can order from the menu, which is exactly what I did. In today's day and age, taking pics of your food is a norm and posting it a must, so here goes. For breakfast, I had a delicious soft scrambled egg with 3 cheeses, accompanied by fresh pink salmon and gently braised mushrooms, washed down with freshly squeezed orange juice and a slice of toast. Before we reach our first tourist destination, we are treated to the spectacular vision outside the train. Campus Dam is a permanent wetland, just minutes by road from the iconic old diamond mining town of Kimberley. But what makes this dam so special is the thousands upon thousands of kingbirds stretching as far as the eye can see. The flamingos of Campus Dam are a spectacular memorable sight, even if you're not so serious bird. Truly a beautiful start to a good day. We arrive in Kimberley, the capital of the Northern Cape province. It's known for its 19th century diamond mines like the Big Hole. We start off our tour here, where the multifaceted story of diamonds is revealed through a short film, screened in a state-of-the-art theatre introducing visitors to the story of diamonds in Kimberley. The film takes audiences back to early 1867, when curious children picked up a shiny stone on the banks of the Orange River. This stone proved to be a diamond. The film follows the fascinating story of how its discovery changed the destiny of the entire region, aptly named Diamonds and Destinies. Like any epic story, the history of diamonds in South Africa contains episodes of anguish and tragedy. Thereafter, we were taken to the viewing platform. This is one of the unforgettable experiences of a visit to the Big Hole, and it is from here that the real information of Big Hole takes place. Our tour guide is enthusiastic and funny, braving the cold winds to give us solid info regarding the hole, its size, and its significance.
In Botswana, they have one of 133 soccer fields. This is only 5. So why call this the Big Hole and not the one in Botswana? The simple reason is that this hole was dug by hand. And in Botswana, it was mechanically dug. This hole is famous today because it was dug by hand. And not all the way, of course, but up to where you see the water, about up to there. Then they started using dynamite and that kind of thing. This hole is the smallest of all diamond-bearing volcanic pipes in the world. Yet it produced more gem-quality diamonds per square meter than any other hole. This one produced in gem-quality diamonds 14.5 million carats of diamonds. I'm going to repeat it. 14.5 million carats of diamonds.
Now, of course, it didn't always look like this, with a giant crater where Earth used to be, and our guide takes us on a little journey.
What you see down there is a volcanic pipe. Now, when I ask you to close your eyes and picture a volcano in front of you, what do you see? A hill in front of you with smoke coming out of the top. Am I right? You don't see a hole in the ground with water at the bottom and say that's a volcano. So I want you to use your imagination slightly.
From the viewing platform, one can see the De Beers House. Originally the headquarters of Barney Benato's Kimberley Central Diamond Mining Company, the building has been a national monument since 1985 and the annual AGM is still held here. One can also see the Harry Oppenheimer House, which was constructed for the sorting of all diamonds mined by De Beers in southern Africa. Before we get back to our tour, it is officially selfie time. Where else could I get a view like this?
G'day Trendz. One of the stops you'll make on the Rovers Rail journey from Pretoria to Cape Town is we'll stop in Kimberley, where we got to experience the Big Hole. We learned all about the history about the De Beers mining company. It is really, really interesting, so we'll take you further now to the diamonds.
Back on tour, we are shown more of the mining house and its surrounds and regaled with more stories and anecdotes. We learned that the techniques of underground mining were pioneered at Kimberley and also how the cocoa pans were used to move kimberlite and granite from underground to above the ground. Then it was time to actually go underground. Visitors enjoy an excursion underground in a recreated mine shaft. The experience takes you on a journey of the confined spaces the miners worked in. We get to follow trails trodden by those hungry for a fortune, striking it rich, or those just looking for a better life. It is a treasure trove of artifacts and equipment from yesteryear. The mine revealed to geologists for the first time that the primary deposits of diamonds were volcanic pipes. Until Kimberley yielded its secrets, prospectors assumed that diamonds were only found in rivers. The real diamond display is housed in a high-security vault, especially constructed for the Big Hole. Thousands of gems are on display, allowing the visitor to fully appreciate the interesting colors, types, and sizes of diamonds recovered in South Africa. The Kimberley Mine Museum displays jewelry and uncut diamonds. Those with a hankering for history will discover hidden treasure in Kimberley's Diamond Museum. Visitors can relish authentic relics from the diamond rush while catching a glimpse of what Kimberley looked like in its Victorian heyday. There is so much to read and learn, and if you are doing the tour without a guide, there is a very comprehensive timeline to help you through this time period. It also includes the myths and legends of ancient peoples who believed that diamonds had many mysterious powers. Then there's the Old Town. The Old Town is a collection of historic Kimberley buildings that have been brought back to life and feature shops and food outlets open to the public. The Old Town brings the new rush era to life, where the hopeful, the desperate, and the determined flock to Kimberley to seek their fortunes. You'll discover period buildings that have been preserved or restored to their original glory. It is quite a journey into the past. Then it's time to head back. The Transport Museum is situated in Kimberley's railway station and showcases an accurate record of the history of the railways and the development of other forms of transport as the need increased. Time passed and developments advanced. In addition, the museum makes significant and poignant tribute to the black workers who labored on these railways, who underwent massive displacement and many trials to live this life and who have seldom been recognized for their contribution. Included in the display at the Transport Museum of Kimberley is a cycle that was used by the volunteers from southern Rhodesia. Then it was back on board the train. The next day, our stop was Maantjiesfontein.
At our stop in Maantjiesfontein, we were met with the melodic sounds of Edwin. Quite a very nice surprise. Hi, Edwin.
Hi.
Can you tell me, so you start out here and you sing for the passengers or just everybody?
For the present and for the hotel, I'm playing weddings here, and so for the blue train.
Okay, so what kind of music do you sing?
Anything, but songs do I have.
Oh, what's your favorite song?
As a train na Maantjiesfontein.
Kan jy gou vir my sing?
Okay. Daar's 'n trein. Daar's 'n trein. Daar's 'n trein. As die trein na Maantjiesfontein. Daar's 'n trein. Daar's 'n trein. As die trein na Maantjiesfontein.
Still enjoying the show? Do stay tuned after the break.
Propelled him to better heights.
When I was 16, my mother passed away, and I had no choice than to find work, and I had to juggle work between work and school. I've worked on different coffee shops, and eventually in 2012 I started my own business called Sickles Brew.
Laying good business acumen since childhood nurtured her good standing.
I happened to grow up in a family where my father is a businessman, and as a businessman he used to have lots of friends from different parts of the world. Business, you need to be committed, you need to live it, you need to love it, you need to be there, at the moment.
For more inspiring stories, stay tuned to Bupilong every Friday.
It's still a bit chilly, but there's so much that you can do and explore around Gauteng. We went to explore the sights and sounds of Dinokeng. Towards the end of 1902, Thomas Cullinan bought the farm Elandsfontein from the Princeton family for £52,000. Prospecting was conducted immediately, and a few small diamonds were found. As the mine grew in depth and size and continued to employ more staff, the diamond mine grew and was able to make some of the greatest finds in mining history till today. The mine is most famous for the Cullinan diamond, famously known as the Star of Africa. The diamond was discovered in 1905 and is the world's largest ever diamond. Other famous stones found is the Golden Jubilee at 543 carats, the Centenary at 273 carats, the Premier Rose at 137 carats, and the Taylor Burton at 169 carats. Recently, a blue diamond, now famously known as the Blue Moon, was also found. The small mining town with its old buildings draws thousands of tourists every single year. As little has changed over the past 100 years. The bank still does its business in the original premises built in 1908. A visit is like stepping back in time. The village now offers small, fun and quaint restaurants, curio shops, art galleries and museums to suit a range of interests and tastes.
In the village there are a number of restaurants to offer something to suit everybody's palate. They range from garden cafes to themed restaurants such as Greek and Italian. There's also a craft brewery. The village prides itself on serving top-class food at affordable prices. In the space with the restaurants are a variety of curio shops, art galleries and even diamond shops.
An activity worth trying is a throwback ride on a beautiful steam train whilst dressed up in old garments befitting of such a decadent and fun day out. There are more exciting destinations within the area as well, and a short drive away you can discover the beautiful Galagos Country Lodge, a magical place for the whole family that mixes old world charm set in a beautiful, natural, somewhat mystical surrounding. But our journey had to continue with much more to see in the Dinokeng region, and our next stop was the Dinokeng Game Reserve, where a warm cultural welcome was just what we needed just before exploring the nature it had to offer. Over 100 species of bird life and insects is found among the many game farms that ultimately make up the Dinokeng Game Reserve. The reserve is the first free-roaming Big 5 residential game reserve in Gauteng. With near-perfect African landscapes and sunset, it is definitely worth a visit for a long holiday or just a day visit. In Dinokeng, you get to explore not only the wild side of life, but the beautiful lodges within the reserve that will make your stay comfortable and very memorable. Day 2 of our Dinokeng exploration lay ahead, and the sun rose and found us already on the road as there was so much more to see and explore. We're still exploring all the sights and beautiful things you can do in Gauteng, and we are here at the Ndebele Cultural Village to learn more about this beautiful and colorful culture. If you have ever been curious about the people who paint their homesteads so beautifully and dress so ornately, then you should visit the Ndebele Cultural Village, just a short drive outside of Pretoria. The village is a real cultural treat, and there's a lot to see and a lot to learn.
Welcome to Ndebele village. My name is Rosa. I'm going to explain about the Ndebele culture, how they live, eat, do everything. Long time ago, this small house is up there. I can say the grandmothers, they used to stay in the house like this one. And then the black thing on top, you use as a window. When we make a fire inside the house, the smoke to come out. Yes. And then there's another building there, the small one. We use as a kitchen to cook outside there. They will use the stone to build the crawls. A crawl for cow, pigs, goats, sheep, and everything. They were using the stone to build the crawls. And then when the time is going, they start to build a house like this one. This one is the room for the boys. The inside one is for the girls. And then this the big house is for a house for granny. And then the chief long time ago, he was having more than 4 wives or upwards. Yes. Yeah, 4 wives upwards. And then each and every woman, she stay alone. And then the chief also he stay alone. And then when a chief want to go visit other women, he's supposed just to go midnight, maybe I can say around 12 midnight, and then come back, yes, early in the morning, to avoiding a jealous. Yeah, because if they can see, you will see maybe he like Mam Matangu too much than Mam Twain. Now he's supposed just to make that thing, yes, like that. And then we're using to eat the pap the most. Pap with the morocco and then with the veggies from the garden, because they were used to make some garden around the house. And also the meat from the cows, the sheep, the goats, and the pigs also. I can say the kids from 1 year to 7 or to 8. They are wearing something in front only. At the back, nothing. And then from the age of 8 years, they start to wear something like a towel to cover. Yes. And then from 14 years, they are making the ceremony. The guys are going to a mountain there, and then they are coming back. And then now from there, if you are a lady, if you are coming from your ceremony, wear like that lady. Yes. Ujameli kosa kashatanga, but mase ushatile uqoka njenganje. Yebo. Yena ujamile umjameli. Yebo. And then mase ushatile ungumama uqoka njengo. No, long time ago they used to wear this blanket. And then mase uqedile after malanga nyana, maybe inyanga nyana, uyayikhumula uyaqoka like njengale maybe elulanyana nje.
Dinner Gang is truly the gem of Gauteng. Welcome back. As usual, the show would not be complete without some stories from around the world.
When Lydia Mahlangu was offered a ride on her neighbor's boyfriend's motorbike in 1983, she fell in love with biking. As a career nurse, she saw many horrific injuries from bike accidents, but says the sound of motorbikes always made her emotional. When she turned 50 in 2013, 30 years after that first ride, she went out and bought herself an 883cc super low Harley Davidson.
Everybody else was like 50, you must prepare for your old age and whatever, and I just felt, 50, I'm going to start living my life. And I bought a bike. I didn't even know how to start it, how to ride it, how to do anything. I didn't even know how to ride a bicycle.
After a few hard falls and painful bruises, she hired a private instructor and then joined South Africa's Angels on Bikes, a biking club for women. They once rode more than 800 kilometers to Swaziland and back and have covered many more around the country.
People sit with their issues and they get morose, become depressed because of they can't deal with their problems. And you know, biking is not for the faint-hearted, one thing for sure, but you forget about your issues, personal issues. They don't reign here. I'll only get my problems when I get home.
Biking is not new to South Africa, but it was traditionally a preserve for the minority white population. In the years that followed the end of apartheid, black men and now more black women started to take it up as a hobby. They have formed their own clubs as well as lifelong bonds with their fellow riders.
What I like about biking is the brotherhood and sisterhood among us, and the love, you know, the love more than your family at some point. So I think you feel at home when you're biking.
The Angels are also changing perceptions that riders are a rowdy, sometimes dangerous lot. They support various social causes, running a sanitary pads drive for poor schoolgirls and donating clothes, blankets and food to children's homes. And they have got the men involved too, working closely with the Dakras Biking Club.
There is that sisterhood, especially in black women, because of we forced our way through into the guys' environment, and they are aware of us, of our presence, because we bring a different perspective. We bring style, we bring the feminine touch into the biking. So the rough edges have been toned down a little bit because of there are women involved.
Mahlangu works as a network manager for the South African Police Services Medical Aid Scheme, shedding off her protective biking gear and open road for suits in the boardroom.
My bosses in the beginning, they thought it's crazy, but now they've learned to accept it. They know that on Friday is my day. I come with jeans with my bike. So that's it. And at home, yeah, they've accepted it, but not easy. And also my daughter also, I bought her a bike. So now it becomes the female thing in the house, and it's good. It's changing the perception even in the township.
There are more than 400 black female bikers now across the 9 provinces of South Africa, and the numbers are expected to increase as clubs like the Angels spread the word and interest grows. Mahlangu is working on upgrading her bike.
The lush banks of the Vaal River play host to this magnificent resort, Emerald. This ethnic city is the ideal escape with an array of activities for the whole family. Just an hour from Johannesburg, Animal World at Emerald is a home to a few of the world's beautiful creatures, with lions, hyenas and a variety of birds. The flamingos are one of the first animals you see when you enter the park, with their beautiful pink and white feathers. But one animal we can't forget is little Bubbles, who isn't so little, I might add, and his strange friend Bok, who for us was the highlight of our visit. Next we headed over to the game farm where we interacted with some amazing animals. These guys are so accustomed to the people that you can feed them with your hand. An experience I will never forget. The farm sports a variety of antelope with some unique ones as well. We were also lucky enough to spot some giraffes. After a long day of fun activities, it was time to head over to the main event, the party in the Aquadome. But first we caught up with Mark, who gave us a bit more insight into the resort.
Emerald Resort's been here for about 15 years now, owned and operated by Caesars Palace as its main controlling partner. With here on site, we've got everything ranging from the Aquadome, which we're going to talk about today, to the zoo, to the safari park, to a casino, literally everything for the whole family to keep a whole week busy. The Aquadome's unique to this area of South Africa. It's a fantastic area. It's an all-inside sort of 4-pool area with slides, fun activities. And the reason we're here is we're relaunching it today. We spent a lot of money, we've had a lot of fun and redesigned it. And today's about letting everyone come in, have fun and see what's on offer. There's a lot to see at Animal World. Animal World's quite a nice area. We've got a baby hippo in bubbles. We've got the parents. We've got the lions. We've got 2 new lion cubs that were only born a short while ago. So there's a lot to see. So it's a real opportunity for people to get back into nature and to see the things that you just don't see every day anymore.
The inaugural Hot Beats indoor pool party was recently held at the ever-popular water park, the Aquadome, with celebrity DJs Roger Good, Twins on Deck, Classic Tank and friends pulling out some awesome sets for the crowd. The party attracted many local and Johannesburg-based people, partying the night away in a unique environment. The transformation between daytime pool fun with kids' laughter to nighttime rocking party venue was incredible and can only be experienced firsthand. The distinctly tropical atmosphere at the climate-controlled Aquadome is the perfect antidote to the cold winter Vaal evening, as guests partied till the small hours of the morning. The Aquadome is now a fully fledged party venue, so if you're on the hunt for something unique for your next do, consider heading over to the Vaal Dam.
The proverb, rarity brings high prices, has proven universally true and lastingly so. 30 years since its invention, square watermelon still fetches some $150 per fruit in its birthplace of Japan. But some salesmen argue that square watermelon was invented as an indoor ornament rather than a fruit. Imaginative artistry aside, there must be some rationality behind the invention of watermelons in this outlandish shape of a tube. Some media reports have attributed the invention of square watermelon to a 1980s Japanese farmer hailing from Zenshui of Kagawa.
食べれないスイカですので、観賞用として販売させていただいておりますので、1ヶ月以上はお楽しみいただけます。
The inventive farmer grew his fruits in square molds to result in square watermelons, which save space in refrigerators and facilitate long-distance transportation. And square watermelons grow into 18-centimeter tubes till they mature to weigh some 5 kilograms. But still, square watermelons, after so many years of their invention, have remained more of an expensive household ornament than a summer thirst-quenching fruit.
テレビで見たことあったので知ってました。置いてみてもいいかなとは思います。
The sky-high prices for square watermelon have enticed and encouraged profit chasers to grow watermelons in various other shapes, like heart-shaped fruit and pyramid-shaped fruit. Now, with profit-driven inventors joining the fray, whatever other shapes will there soon be, only time can tell us all.
We still have so much more after the break for you, so don't go anywhere.
What is environmental health?
In Section 24 of the Constitution, the environmental right has a second part, which is to encourage people to be active citizens and gives us the right to participate in politics and organize and raise awareness so that the environmental right can be guaranteed.
Using coal and wood and paraffin to cook with or to heat their space or to heat water. These are basic fundamentals, and I think if we can address that alone, we will make a huge impact, an environmental impact on the health of our population.
Food that comes into the country, the vigilance at the ports and harbours is being checked at the moment currently by environmental practitioners who are port officers at those ports. They need to be more stringent in terms of control of what comes into the country.
Join Health Talk every Saturday for all your health news. After a horrific accident, major questions were asked.
So step one, I asked myself, do I really want to die? And my answer to that was, I'm not sure. And then step two was, do I want my parents to bury me? And the answer to that was no.
Learning kept his brain in full action on how the brain works.
When I was in hospital, right, as I was saying, to catch up with my peers, I started to become obsessed with memory techniques and how the brain works and how we retain information.
Touching lives is his continuous mission.
I now work for a non-profit where we deal with access issues regarding kids with disabilities and persons with disability. We're busy working on beach access.
Being wheelchair-bound did not stop fun in his life.
I party in a wheelchair, I laugh in a wheelchair, I smile in a wheelchair.
For all your uplifting stories, catch Bupilong every Friday.
Cameroon's legendary soccer star, Roger Milla, is on another mission. The two-time African Footballer of the Year is leading residents of Yaoundé, Cameroon's capital, in a cleanup. The second largest city in Cameroon is choked with litter. Piles of plastic bags and bottles clog up drainage systems and rivers.
When it rains, the river floods and the plastic bottles come all the way to our houses. They also cause us to get sick and they also emit a foul smell. We cannot sit in our compounds because of the polluted air.
Roger, who at 42 years became the oldest goal scorer in World Cup history, is trying to help his countrymen by turning plastic waste into building materials.
My foundation, which deals with the environment, came here to help clear all this waste and clear the river of plastic waste which has been affecting the local population and also allows water to flow as it should.
Laisser un peu que l'eau circule pour aller plus loin.
Roger's mission is also to create more jobs. So far, over 750 youth have been trained to make plastic slabs.
We think it's a good project for the future of our country, especially when it comes to the fight against pollution. It's also good because this is also a source of revenue and job creation for young Cameroonian youths.
Une source de revenus d'emploi pour les jeunes Camerounais que nous sommes.
However, the art of turning plastic into useful material is not just unique to Cameroonians. Down south, Mbongeni Butelezi is using plastic waste to draw attention to its effect on the environment through art. He started out as a teenager, growing up in a poor neighborhood, looking through garbage dumps for plastic and turning them into useful products. Sugar Tax is his latest showcase. He designed it to question the dominance of branded soft drinks that litter the environment, causing health problems.
To put up this exhibition is just a way of saying to people, let's talk about this. Let's have a dialogue, around all these issues that the government is coming up with. Because, with my work, it is not only, the sugar tax that one is trying to bring up, but also, the environment element, and how my work contributes towards recycling and all these things.
Mbongeni uses up to 5,000 pieces of plastic for a single artwork. However, this South African artist is not only confined to plastic. He also uses watercolors in his compositions.
It will be very much interesting for me to bring that experience, into this exhibition and make sure that people understand that these plastics are actually informed by watercolor, and it's very clear in this exhibition because what I've done, I've exhibited a sketch alongside a finished plastic work, and you can just see the the influence, from one technique to the next.
Today, his work has been showcased locally and in other countries, including the United States, Britain, and Germany, and with it comes admirers.
The work really speaks to me, especially in this era of, let's recycle, let's not waste, and try and clean up the environment. I think this is, one of the best artworks that I've seen so far, and I think it deserves to be seen across the world in all the art galleries.
The creative genius was recently presented with an award from the prestigious King Abdallah University of Science and Technology, recognizing him as a pioneer for the use of plastic as a medium.
It's actually something very special because I didn't know that I was a pioneer. I was just doing my work as an artist, hoping that people will see and enjoy and possibly learn a thing or two for themselves. So now to get this, it's even way beyond what I was expecting. Very proud of it.
His pieces sell for up to $15,000 US. With this kind of money in his pocket, South African Bongeni and Cameroon's Roger Miller will work to make a clean and safe environment.
Saloon tango dancers from around the world showed off their skills in Buenos Aires as part of the World Tango Festival and Championship held annually in the South American capital. For the Salon Tango qualifiers, couples swirled and swiveled together on the dance floor while under the discerning eyes of the panel of judges. French dancer Elise Babot said she was happy to be part of the competition. And Russian dancer Roman Karachesev shared her sentiments, describing it as emotional.
Je suis super contente d'être ici, je suis très heureuse quand je danse le tango, j'adore danser le tango et je suis venue à Buenos Aires pour ça, donc je suis vraiment ravie d'être là.
We're here in Buenos Aires, we come from Moscow and we're really happy to be here. And dancing on this floor, it's very emotional and very too much experience. We're really happy because tango is too much change in our life.
El tango para mí significa entregar, dar y demostrar toda la emoción y la pasión que hay dentro de mí.
Pasión porque conocí a mi marido bailando tango y eso, ahí encontré el sentido del abrazo.
Buenos Aires, the global tango hotspot, is the birthplace of nostalgic and impassioned dance, which originated in the city's working class ports at the turn of the 19th century. The World Tango Festival and Championship runs until August the 23rd. It Egyptian artist Abdelrahman Al-Habrouk sets fire to his tobacco-based portraits to draw attention to the dangers of smoking. Cigarette packs litter a small studio where Al-Habrouk creates portraits using a combination of tobacco and gunpowder. By breaking cigarettes in half, Al-Habrouk says he's deriving a benefit from something that would otherwise be harmful. A relatively new artist, the 23-year-old said he only started to draw after his first year of university. Now in his third year, Al-Habrouk says he's been drawing with tobacco for around a year and is seeing a lot of positive feedback on his artwork.
اول ما نزلت الرسمه طبعا على الفيس، ده اول حاجه حصلت يعني، ما حدش شافها قبل الفيس. فاول كومنت شفته ان انا اخيرا شفت فايده للسجاير. فالرساله وصلت بمنتهى السهوله، يعني فعلا انا كنت عايز اعمل من حاجه مضره حاجه مفيده الى حد ما يعني. فاول كومنت شفته اخيرا شفت فايده للسجاير. كل الكومنتات كده، كل التعليقات كده، السجاير بقى ليها فايده، اخيرا السجاير بقى ليها فايده، وهكذا. فده كان شيء يعني مفرحني ان انا رسالتي وصلت بمنتهى السهوله يعني.
Al-Habrouk's art mainly focuses on portraits of humans or animals, which he says he's tested with a number of different materials. Coffee grains, salt and sand are just some of the materials he's used. But he found the best way to preserve his creations is by burning the purest types of tobacco.
يعني هو الفكره كمان ان انا بحاول اثبت الرسمه، يعني انا ببقى متضايق لما ارسم رسمه مثلا لحد وبعد كده المها شبه الرسم بالملح او كده، انا عايز احتفظ بيها. ففكرت ان انا ممكن لو حرقت الورقه الحرق نفسه هيأثر او هيظهر مثلا معالم الرسمه. فبدات اجرب في الموضوع يعني، ولسه ما ظبطش معايا قوي بس انا بحاول شغال عليه يعني.
After creating the artwork, Al-Habrouk sprinkles gunpowder and sets it on fire. The residue then leaves an imprint on the paper. The number of cigarette packs used depends on the size of the portrait, but Al-Habrouk sometimes can use up to 4 packs on a single drawing.
فين دخلت والله.
انا طبعا بحلم ان انا مستواي يزيد اكتر من كده بكتير، اتعلم خامات اكتر. حابب بعد كده بس ده قدامي ان شاء الله ان انا اشارك في معارض كبيره. تمام. وحابب ان شغلي يوصل لناس كتيره، يعني حابب ان كل الناس تبقى عارفاني وعارفه شغلي، بس يبقى شغلي مميز يعني وسط الفنانين بس مش اكتر.
Unfortunately, that's all we have for you in this week's episode of Trendz Travel. Join us again next week, same time, same place. From the very hardworking Trendz Travel team, see you next time.